on Facebook Live that come on with us. They're amazing. I just want to say that. But I just wanted to also do quickly a Stephen story before I start doing readings. Are you ready?
I don't think I'll ever be ready.
I think I could do like...
I'm rolling my eyes already because I know all about this. I can't believe you're going to share this story, but go ahead.
I have to. You know what? I could do another show, and it could just be a weekly show called Stephen Stories.
Well,
okay,
I should be the one doing that show because I have plenty of stories.
About me?
Yeah.
All right, move along, Daddy.
I could look into my memorandum to see all the stories I got. Just saying.
Now there's
Hint.
Okay.
So
listen. Okay. So here we go. Very, very quickly. So Elix and I have both our cars from the same car place, and they're fantastic. And when you need to get your car serviced, they will come pick your car up and leave you a loaner, which is amazing. So last week, Elix gets his car serviced and gets a loaner, right? I don't know. Spirit's already talking to me, so I gotta focus. He gets a loaner. So the guy is coming to, the car's all fixed, it's all tuned up, whatever, and the guy is gonna bring Elix's car in the morning around 6 a.m. and then pick up the loaner and take off, right? So
and 6 a.m. is way too early for me, so that's Steven's duty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm up early anyway, so I do the transaction. So I get up, take the dogs out, and it's about 10 of 6, and I said, you know what, let me pull the car out, the loaner out of the garage so he doesn't have to. So it's all ready to go, and we'll just do that quick transaction. So I pull the car out, I get it in the driveway, and I said, you know, and it's still dark, and before I get out, let me just put the light on and make sure there's nothing that we missed, nothing that Elix missed in the rental car, in the loaner. So I hit the switch that is every car I've ever been in is the same switch, and it's a light, and no light goes on. And I'm thinking, wow, this clearly is either broken or something's going on. But I noticed that there's a red light attached to it, and then I noticed next to it, it says SOS. And I'm thinking, no, but SOS had another button, so I didn't press the SOS, but and I can see on the console that it looks like it's calling somebody, and I'm like, oh God. So I'm hitting the console, trying to stop it, which unbeknownst to me, it's not a car that it's a touch screen, so I'm hitting, nothing's happening. I'm like, oh, forget about it. If I just get out of the car and shut the car off, everything will stop. So I get out, close the door, and I'm done. I hear nothing. I'm like, good. I'm walking into the garage. I get to the entrance of the garage, and I can hear something, and I'm thinking, wow, I didn't even hear the car pull up. It must be the person, with Elix's car. And I come back to the entrance of the garage, look to the driveway, and there's no other car except the loaner. And I stop for a second, and honest to God, this is what I hear. Good morning, this is Candy. This is roadside assistance. How are you today? I cannot even tell you how loud it was, and all the windows were up in the car. Oh. Hello?
Is that Mark trying to...
Hello? Mark? What happened?
I have no idea. I don't know if we're...
It's only 5:11.
And I cannot hear Mark's.
Mark, what happened? Okay. What do you mean? I can still hear the commercial. So are we still live? In the middle of the most important story ever, Mark. I can't believe you just did that. No, I'm kidding. Mark he doesn't sound too excited. In any case, this woman that is calling from God only knows where, from the south, because her name's Candy and she's got a southern accent. She is so loud, and like the neighbors are not really close to this house. But honest to God, I'm thinking to myself, she's going to wake the neighbors because she continues to say, this is Candy from Roadside Assistance. How are you today? Do you need a minute? And I'm standing there frozen at the edge of the garage like, should I run in and tell her? And I'm like, but no, because then she's going to think I'm a dope that I just set it off and closed close the door, but she's so loud. And then, of course, it hits me and I start laughing because I think it's so funny. And so I just went in, shut the garage door. I come upstairs. Django, one of our dogs, is at the front door looking down. He can't see the car, but he can hear her through the front door. And I'm like, I cannot believe she's still going. So I open the front door. Now, the first floor is pretty high. So I open the front door. I go onto the porch, and I have to look down to where the car is. And I can still hear, if you need some kind of assistance. So I closed the door, went back in, and said, if the cops or an ambulance show up, I'm just going to jump out the back door and just run and let Elix handle it. And so we're running that day, and I completely forgot when Elix woke up to tell him, and I was telling him, and I cannot even tell you the expression, right, Elix, that you gave me.
Well, yeah, because he hit the SOS button. I mean, we're lucky 911 didn't show up at our doors.
No, but they didn't.
And you're like so concerned, like, oh my God, I'm going to look like a dope. You're going to look like a dope if the cops or the fire trucks are here because they think we have, you suffer a stroke or something.
But it wasn't.
Only you, Steven.
But Elix, it wasn't. The SOS button was next to it. There was a separate button. I didn't hit that like emergency SOS. I think I just hit like the hit roadside assistance, but Candy, God bless her, she was persistent. She would not stop. She just kept going on and going on with that Southern accent. So clearly she either is up here and she came from the South or she was from the South. All I know is that I was in the kitchen laughing hysterically because, I think a lot of things are funny. I thought that was funny. It all worked out.
And if you think this is it's a very unusual story, from Steven. I assure you it isn't. I have plenty more I can and I will share with all of you. But this is living with Steven. This is what I experience 24/7.
Well, it's Steven stories. That's what it is. Yeah. So listen, we are going to take a break definitely this time. I think. I don't know. We'll have to look. We'll have to check in with Mark.
Producer?
508-222-1320 is the phone number to call to get a reading. So I will start taking calls when we come back, but I will leave you with this. This is Candy from Roadside Assistance. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Through the Static. So I hope everybody enjoyed the Steven story. I did, and I said to Mark, these things happen, right? It happens to the best of us, and when you do live radio, these things happen. So, you just chalk it up, you laugh, and you move forward, right? Right, Elix? Hi. Hi,
You,
Alex.
yes, you do.
All right. So let me go to the first caller.
Hello.
Hi, this is Steven. Who's this?
Hi, this is Christy.
Christy?
Yes,
Hi, Christy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. I think I hear myself echoing. I don't know why.
I
But
don't know.
okay. I don't know either, but we'll
No,
we'll,
you,
we'll
you sound okay here.
Oh, good. All right. So we'll work with it. So let me tune in here, Christy. The first thing, as soon as I tune into your energy, Christy, and I know you've got loved ones stepping forward. Do you currently have a dog?
I do.
You know, it's really interesting that I just heard like someone in spirit, like a human, as well as, it's kind of funny, a human, as well as another dog in spirit that just talked about the animal or animals that you have. And it's a really great way of just saying how happy and thankful they are. Clearly, you've got a dog. You must be an animal person. So it's just a really great way that they're giving that as a validation. And is the dog's, which dog is the B name?
Berta.
Who is that? The one you have, or is that crossed?
I still have Berta. I do
Oh
still
my
have Berta.
God. Imagine a dog in spirit connected to you as well as a family member is just validating your dog that's here, which is pretty wild. So let me ask you.
And I have a Bubba. And I have a Bubba. So I have two Bs.
And is Bubba also here?
Yeah.
Wow, Christy, that's a pretty cool thing for you. It's seriously, it's really cool that you immediately just had this such strong connection to these animals, which just, it really is just I think a reflection of how incredible and how expansive your energy is, because you're also very, very connected. You would have to be very connected for me to start a reading like that. So it's just a great way to let you, it's also like I just heard, it's also a way to remind you that you're very connected. But Christy, there's a really, really strong, well, wait a minute, I was going to say mother figure, but then there's also a really strong father. So let me ask you, is dad here or crossed?
Here.
So it's got to be then either a father-in-law or a grandfather. Do you have a father-in-law who's crossed?
No.
Okay, so it's got to be then a grandfather. It's sort of like I deduce just like where I'm going with this. It's a grandfather then that is always around you, but there's also a very strong mother energy, and she keeps showing me her throat. So is this mom or grandmother? Is your mom here?
My mom is here.
Okay. All right. There's then if it's a grandmother or a mother-in-law, I can't tell with you. Your energy is pretty big, but as soon as she stepped forward, I just keep feeling like breathing or COPD, or there's something going on in the throat issue. So either somebody, what was that?
It's somebody that I was taking care of that recently passed.
Oh my God, Christy. Wow. Was this a woman?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God. No wonder why I couldn't figure out whether it was like a grandmother or a mother-in-law, because she wasn't fitting either one of them. So, wow. And you said this is recent?
Yes.
Wow. So just how wild is it, Christy, to let you know that she's stepping forward and letting you know, she keeps thanking you, and just saying what a beautiful soul you are. But Christy, you must know this, because she just said to me, Christy knows she's connected. Christy knows that she can feel things, especially when she experienced this with me, and how I was getting closer and closer to crossing. And she keeps holding your hand in arms. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if when you took care of her, if you like held her hand or like put lotion on her. She keeps.
I did. I was a freak about putting lotion on her. Yes.
Oh my God. I love it, Christy. I love that she's giving this as a validation. She's smiling and laughing. And Christy, one of the things that she just said to me also is that I asked all of Christy's loved ones if I could come through first. and they all just, said, of course, because she said, I just want to make sure Christy understands the impact she had on me, what she gave me at the end of my life. Because whether she could communicate, whether she couldn't, and I don't know if she could or not, but all I can tell you, Christy, is that what you gave her and how you sort of, it's really interesting how you transferred your energy with her, and she could pick up your amazing energy, but she could also pick up your genuineness and how authentic you are and the real caring and how difficult this is for you for her to cross. But she just said, Stephen, this is what this woman, Christy, is amazing. She's a soul that, even in spirit, all the people that she met in spirit, since she's been in spirit, said it's an exceptional soul. You've got a very different soul. All of this, Christy, ties in because when the dogs started validating your dogs, I'm like, oh, this girl I'm talking to is special. And she just is special the way this started. Just make sure you remind yourself how special you are, because this woman, who's Rose?
Rose.
Rose.
I don't
Who's? If there's either a name Rose or Roses they're talking about, or like Rosaries or Rosemarie, there's a Rose connected to you. And sometimes, Christy, it also could be like a middle name, so just, and it could be living or crossed. I don't know if that's your profession, if you take care of a lot of people, but just make sure you keep the Rose connection, because you also have a grandmother who's stepping forward, and I know I can feel that generation. So she's stepping forward and just said exactly what was just said is exactly what is true and what I needed to say. Where's the V come in too? Who's Vinny or Victoria or Vanessa?
Oh, Vince is my grandson.
Wow, Christy, how wild! I never get that letter either, V. And it's everybody just giving that as a validation. This is never, they're so focused, and I go with what they're saying and telling me to say. They're so focused with you about your connection. That's not to say that they want you to to do anything, or because Spirit doesn't tell us what to do. What they're doing is just validating and just saying that you knowing and remembering and reminding yourself how connected you are helps you, because you're just also a very sort of therapeutic person. You're a healer, because they just show me your hands, and your hands, the insides of your hands are green, which means that like you could sort of I don't know if you've ever heard of Reiki, but it's you've got that sort of talent in you without even trying. Like you've got some prodigy kids that, like a kid that's never touched a piano and touches the piano, and just by hearing or by sound he can play a song. That's what happens in Spirit, and you've got that. Mm-hmm. So it's a beautiful way to let you know about your gift and all these gifts. Christy, I just heard everybody talk about that. That you have not opened, or you've got so much to do, Christy, here. And you may say, oy vey, and I don't even know why I'm saying that. Add more to me. It's not about that. It's just about how your natural path and passion move forward is what you're doing. And they're so thrilled in Spirit, in all the higher, like your loved ones, the ascended masters, the angels are so just, I don't even know the word for you. So in awe of what you're doing. They just want to keep you doing what you're doing. So I hope that makes sense. But this Rose thing is killing me, Christy. This Rose.
The only thing I can say is that my mom just turned 70, and I sent her 70 roses.
Oh my God! Of course, that's what it is. That's the Rose. Yeah, and that's why I mentioned about it could be the name, it could be Roses. Yeah, of course, it's just you getting a beautiful sort of validation too, that they know you sent. What a cool! I gotta become friends with you. 70. That's such a cool thing to do, Christy. It's such a very I don't know, just very considerate and thinking out of the box. But that's what I hear about you, and that's who you are. So I'm gonna leave that with you, Christy, and
Steven,
thank you so much.
Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
Does she know that I went to go see her the day before she passed?
You're talking about the woman you were taking care of?
Yeah.
I'll tell you something, Christy. You know, you just asked her, and before you even finished the question, she was just nodding. And she also said that she not only knows you went to see her, when you left, she went with you, even though she was still here, her spirit, because you must have been crying. You must have been in the car. I don't know if you sat in the car, but all I can tell you is that she knows everything. And okay. She is now your guardian angel. Christy, there's no question. So just make sure you keep that with you, okay?
I will. Thank you so much.
Lots of love to you, Christy.
Okay.
And we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to Through the Static. This is Stephen the Medium with Coach Elix, and we're both here. And you know, I just realized, Elix, that I did a promo about having a conversation about signs, and I did nothing of the sort. So I promise next week I will talk about signs. I will.
And I totally forgot about it too.
Yeah, me too. Until it just popped into my head. So, but let me go to the next caller. Hello, who's this?
Steven?
Yes, hi, who's this?
Steven, this is Candy. Can I be some assistant? Steven, it's Christine. How are you? How are you, my darling?
I am good, Christine. How are you?
I am good. Actually, I've been cooking dinner while I've been on hold. Here, get your potato out of there.
Well, Christina,
How are you?
you're multi-talented.
I am. Hi, Alex.
Well, listen, that was actually a good Southern accent. So, all right, so let's
Thank you.
let's let me get going here with you. Christine, I'm trying to figure out if they're talking about somebody in spirit or somebody here yet. The first thing I keep hearing from somebody is something's wrong with someone's foot, like foot or toes. It feels like plantar fasciitis or like like I don't know if that's what it is, but is that somebody connected to you that's here?
My husband. He
Wow.
has problems with his feet. Yeah.
Wow. Because does he ever have burning?
It's a burning. I know what's wrong with him, but you're right. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I it's incredible that's, where they're starting and very specific to letting you know it's them. And it's clearly it's also your husband's.
It's my husband. Yeah.
Yeah. It's your husband's side coming through. Not that you don't have your loved ones here also, but your husband's, it's interesting. Your husband's, there's a really, is this mother-in-law, is his mom crossed?
No. His mom's
So it's
here.
then it's gonna be a grandmother. There's a very, very strong, she says a mother energy, but I can feel it's coming from his side. Where's the two come in? Is he one of two?
He's one of two. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So I just always ask, and they just told me that I've got two grandkids. So it's just making sure you know that he has to have one grandmother crossed, because this is definitely a grandmother stepping forward, and
Yep.
I'm also telling her to slow down. She's talking a lot. It's just they love you, Christine. All of them, and it's really cool. I just heard, tell Christine, even the loved ones on your husband's side that you never even met, very much love you. It's a nice compliment.
Oh.
It's a very nice compliment. But they also just want to make sure your husband knows that this grandmother, and there's also a grandfather stepping forward. I think there's two grandfathers stepping forward that I keep seeing at the end of the night, they just keep, like, I can see white light and healing. And I think what they're doing is trying to do as much as they can for his feet. But
He knows that. Yeah. He knows
your husband knows that?
Oh, yeah. He tells me. Yeah. He's right here. He tells me every night. Yep.
That is the coolest thing, that because your husband knows that, they want to validate it. I tell people too, as a medium, I can't read myself. And as much as I talk to dead people daily, it's beautiful for me to get a reading and someone to validate what I know. And I love that they just validated that for your husband. And, who's George? Who's George or Jim, John? There's a GJ name.
GJ. Too many people.
My mother's mother, maybe.
I don't know.
It's her.
My aunt.
No.
So it sounds like George or John or Jim. The only way, Christine, I ever get the G or J name like that, it's a double validation. So there is a G or J name connected, and I'm still with your husband, but who's named after somebody? So somebody has like a middle name or a first name or a derivative of somebody's name that was named after like a dad or a grandfather, or if it's a woman, a mom or a grandmother, somebody's named after somebody.
Okay. I'll have to think about that. Yeah.
So your husband wasn't named after anybody, or a name came from somebody?
He was named after a movie star.
Oh, so that would be the
But
derivative.
his name's not George.
No. The GJ is completely different, but make sure you keep two validations. It's just a way that your husband's loved ones are giving that as a validation of, that he was named after somebody, whether it's family or a movie star, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But there's also a G or J, and the person he was named after, they don't have a G or J like last name?
No.
Spencer Tracy.
He was named after Spencer Tracy, so his name is Tracy.
Oh, no, that can't be. I don't know what this G or J name is, but just make sure you keep it with you, because they keep they're making it to me like it's important. And I just heard someone say your husband knows, so it's in his memory bank. He's just not thinking of it, but he will. And who's Bob? Who's Bob?
Oh,
Bob.
Uncle Bobby.
He's got an Uncle Bobby.
Well, you got him on the parade.
But this is Uncle Bobby's got to be in spirit, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's different. Tell your husband, your uncle. He's very excited that he's here and that his nephew gets to know that he's here. And said, but he's funny too because he just said to your husband, "What the heck's wrong with you with not getting the Jim or John or George or Georgia? I don't know what this is, but just make sure you keep it with you." And just quickly, Christine, your grandmother, there's a grandmother stepping forward and just letting you know that she's like, I want to make sure my granddaughter knows that her side's here too and giving her love. But I also just heard that your husband is what I like to call a spirit whore. So like if you two went to a reading,
Yes, he is.
your husband's going to get all the reading.
Yeah. Every time I see you, I have to tell his friends to not bother me while I'm at our reading.
I love it. So listen, I'm gonna leave you with that. So listen,
All right,
it's so good to hear and talk to both of you, and
too.
lots of love.
I'll see you soon. Don't worry.
All right, perfect.
Bye. Have a good
Bye.
night.
You too. Let's go to the next caller. Hi, this is Steven. Who's this?
Hello?
Hi, who's this?
Oh, hi. It's Jessica. How are you?
It's Jessica. How are you? Good.
Thank you.
Okay, so Jessica, let's see what's going on in tune in with
Hi,
you.
Alex.
Hello.
Listen, I love how everybody knows Elix. It's like the greatest thing. Everyone loves you, Elix.
Well, I'm glad that Jessica at least acknowledged that I'm here in the background.
Oh, you
right
both are
here.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. But Jessica, you know what? In Elix, everybody acknowledges, everybody loves you. You know that, Elix. So let me get back to you, Jessica. The first thing I keep hearing is what's happening like soon, like birthday, anniversary. There's something. You've got something connected to you that is a birthday or an anniversary but it feels like it's close. It's really close. Like 2 weeks back, 2 weeks forward. And it also could be, Jessica, an anniversary of crossing also, but there's something, so we're in February, it's this month that I keep getting a validation for. And I also keep getting 12. So is there something like connected to you like on the 12th of a month or December?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so make sure you
That
keep
I
it
can
with
think
you.
of right now. Okay.
Do you have a significant other?
I do.
Think of it on that side too. It's just like the last. I'm sorry.
We did just get engaged in December. That's 12.
Oh, that's kind of big. So, that's very, very big, Jessica. That's the reason why they had me ask you, do you have a significant other? Because they're like, duh, Jessica, that's kind of a biggie, the engagement. So I love that. And that must be what I was tuning into, even though I swear either between you or your fiance, there's something connected right now. There's a birthday or an anniversary. So it could be like grandmother who's crossed. I don't know what this is, but there's something connected there. And there's, what are they talking about? Did someone on your side or your fiance's side, is somebody good with wood or work like in construction?
Who's in the spirit world or
either. It could be either, Jessica, because I keep hearing wood shop. So it's someone who is very well versed in wood.
My brother is very well versed in wood.
But your brother's here.
He's here.
Right. I love that your loved ones are validating your brother. And why do they wait a minute. But do you have a sibling in spirit?
No, not that I'm aware of.
So you never heard your mom talk about like losing like a miscarriage?
I had one.
Oh my God, it's you, Jessica. Wow. I knew it. I knew there's a baby that kept stepping forward saying, I need validation. I need validation. So wow, Jessica, just know that oh, what a beautiful, you didn't know the sex?
I had a feeling it was a girl.
Wow. I love this. It's very interesting though, Jessica, because when you just said that, I keep getting a boy. I keep getting a boy. So just make sure, boy, girl, and I'm still not getting a full validation on this. And usually mom's intuitions is correct unless there's yet another miscarriage and it's a boy. But all I can tell you is that your baby just wanted to give a heartfelt validation to let you know that, let's go with, she is still here, will always be here, and will always be included in the family. And I love that she just talks about how this as difficult as it was the way it needed to be, Jessica. And I know as a mom that's probably not helpful, but I will just tell you that when spirit, in this case, your baby says that, it's because they don't do this all the time because I don't have enough time, but they always, and when I do longer readings, I always get shown that if the baby lived longer, it would have, been here for a short period of time, which would have been more excruciating, that you would have had her longer. And I know, I mean, it's you lose a baby. I get that, but it's a really nice way to let you know that she's going to always be with you. And there's also was there somebody connected to you, or your fiance was cremated? Well, okay. What's
person or a?
It could be. All I can tell you is that I just saw a pendant, and when I went to the pendant, like on a necklace, it felt like it was ashes. If that's what it felt like. If not, maybe there's a connection with you in a necklace or a pendant that either is special or someone handed down. Even though I got to tell you, it feels like ashes, or someone may not have done it yet, but has ashes and was thinking at some point of like putting them in something that they could hold on to. So just keep it with you, Jessica, and make sure you ask your fiance too about it, because there's got to be something there. And also, there's like my last caller, there's a GJ name connected to one of you two. There's like a George or John, or there's a G or J name connected. Who's Jack?
Jack's actually my dog who passed out. I have the ashes for, but I haven't really.
My God, Jessica. Oh my God. So this is Jack. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. I cannot believe this is your dog. This is so cool. Yeah, this is so cool that Jack wanted to give that as a validation. And I love Jack because Jack just said to me, Stephen, we couldn't finish and just not talk more about the cremation because she's not going to know. She's going to think it's a human, and it's me. It's me. There's the reason why I did the G or J name. So wow.
I thought that.
And Jack is just so excited and so happy. And let me tell you, just like your daughter, just like your baby, which is a beautiful energy and spirit and light, Jack is the same exact way. And as a matter of fact, Jack just said, tell Ma we're together. Like we're together and we're never separated. So it almost makes me look like she's sort of like riding Jack. It's pretty cool, Jessica. It's pretty amazing. So I'm gonna leave you with that, Jessica. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you.
Have a great night.
Thank you. You also, both of you
All
too.
right. Thank you, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to Through the Static. For anybody watching on Facebook Live, you don't see us. Normally you would, but because of COVID, Elix and I are doing the show from our home. So once we're vaccinated, which cross our fingers should be soon, we will be back in the studio and you'll be actually able to see us with Mark. So let me go to the next caller.
Hello?
Hi, this is Steven.
Hi,
Who's this?
Rosemary.
Rosemary. Okay, so let me tune in here, Rosemary. Wow, I'm even stuttering with you, Rosemary. You're really also, I don't remember if it was the first caller, you're also very connected when I tune in to your energy. There's a lot of angels around you, which sometimes that's because like someone either cross-connected to you or even you love angels. Sometimes it's what I've realized, it's not even about that. It's if you're connected, there's a lot of angels. It's almost like you sort of got like this extra protection, if you will. But where's the mother figure for you come in, Rosemary?
Could be grandmother, could be mother-in-law.
Okay, so your mom's still here. Was there a recent crossing connected to you? And when I say recent, I mean like within a year.
No.
Because there feels like there wasn't like not even an animal that crossed. There feels like. I'm sorry, no. Rosemary. No, there feels like as soon as I'm tuning into you, there's somebody that's like so sad that they've. Or wait a minute, or is it just like an anniversary maybe that they're so sad? You know, your loved ones keep showing me, and I think this is not your mother-in-law. I think it's a grandmother that keeps showing me like somebody at a cemetery that is just sort of weeping. Wait a minute, is your father crossed?
No.
Is your father-in-law crossed?
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is them then, because it's got to be, because I just heard this is the father figure, but it's not a grandfather. So it's got to be your in-laws that are stepping forward. And I don't know. Just make sure, Rosemary, you keep this with you, that on that side, there must have been a crossing of something or somebody within the year. Usually when they say recent, I go to about 15 months. Did they lose a son?
Yes.
You know, so so obviously this is a brother-in-law for you.
Both. Yeah, a brother-in-law, and there's another son.
Oh, I mean, wait a minute, was it your husband?
Yes.
Oh my, so your husband's crossed?
Yes.
Wow. Oh my God. So your husband just said to me, Stephen, when you said, did they lose a son? And she should have immediately said it was me. Like, I'm with her all the time. He's hugging you. He's kissing you.
Yeah.
He's your husband's around you. You know, one of them, Rosemary, went quickly or unexpectedly. I don't know which one. Do you understand that?
Yep.
So, because I can feel like I'm here, and then in a second I'm in spirit, and I'm sort of adjusting, like what's going on, what's happening. Your husband, in his perspective, how much he loves you, but I don't know why he keeps putting his hand on his heart and just keeps saying to me that he's sorry, Rosemary. He keeps talking about he's sorry. I don't know if it's for the experience of his death. All I can tell you is that he keeps saying he's sorry. He keeps saying how much he loves you and how sorry he is. I also think that because both your husband and brother-in-law are talking at the same time, I could be picking up both, because one also takes accountability for their actions. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what they're giving me. Just know that your husband, were you guys still together when he crossed?
I was with him. He was murdered.
Oh my God, Rosemary. Oh my God, that's why he asked me to ask you, were you still with him? It wasn't about what I thought was like a marriage. It was about, were you actually with him? That's what he's bringing up. And that's well, so it's definitely him, and why he's telling me how fast it happened. He has no idea that he was in spirit, Rosemary. It's just know, Rosemary, that because I'm running up the clock and I don't have much time. Please know that he just said two things: how much he loves you, and he just wants you to move on. All he wants is, and he said, from now until till you meet again, all he does is work towards making you happy, making you fulfilled, and moving forward. That's all he wants. And just said, he just called you babe. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm with you. I have not left you. So, Rosemary, I'm so sorry about that, but just know how much love this beautiful soul is still giving you, okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosemary. You have a good night, and lots of love to you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And let me just quickly, I know someone has been holding, so I want to make sure I get to them. Hi, this is Steven. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, who's this?
Well, how are you, Felix?
Hi, who is this? What is your name?
Denise. You know, it took me 50 some odd times to try to call you, huh?
Well, you got in. That's all that matters, right?
You know what I'm saying? 100% correct.
Denise, what's up with the father energy? Is your father crossed?
Yep.
But there's also a mother energy. Is your mother here or crossed?
No, she's dead too.
Wow, Denise, she's just dead too. Know that your father just said, who's Ann or Anthony? Who's the A name?
What was the name, hon?
The A name? Why do I keep hearing like Anna or Anthony or Angela? It sounds like or Alan. There's an A name connected to you, either living or crossed.
Oh, so that one I don't know.
So just make. Oh no! Wait a minute. It's a middle name. It would be like if your name was Ann, like Denise Ann. There's an A middle name. I just heard them.
Yes, there is.
Whose middle name?
My sister's.
Wow. I was just corrected by your loved ones. It's your father. Wow, Denise, I don't have enough time to go on with your father. Your father's got a lot to say, like a real lot to say. But he also, did your parents get separated? I mean, divorced?
Not at all.
Why then? So then, who's dad, or maybe it's a father-in-law? It feels like someone's dad leaves, and then there's a stepdad that steps in. There's got to be something connected to you with that. So if it's not your parents, it also sometimes, I know it sounds weird, but it could be someone very close to you. But there's somebody that it feels, Denise, like a stepdad that sort of like gets adopted as the dad. Maybe even maybe it's like a cousin or something like that. But just what was that?
My grandfather raised me. I didn't grow up with my parents, to be honest with you.
Oh my God,
But I will say, those people didn't separate either.
Oh, and it's not about separating. It's just about, I kept getting the feel, now that I'm tuning in more, that somebody was raised or brought up by not the actual father. That's why I was saying like a stepdad would come in and be adopted as the father. I completely understand it. It's just your grandfather who's giving that as a validation because he raised you. That's what it's about, Denise. And it's your grandpa just letting you know that he is with you every second and just making sure he watches over you. And Denise, also, you're very connected too. This has been the callers have been very, very connected because your grandfather said, she sees way and feels and connects way more than she actually knows. It's your grandfather just giving that as a really great validation. I don't know where the cat comes in. There's a cat in spirit. Did you have cats?
Yes, sir, I did. His name was Tippy.
Yeah. So, well, I always tell people not to tell me the name. I like to give the name, but just know that Tippy has gone, Denise, nowhere. Tippy is still in that house and around you, and sometimes aloof, sometimes very friendly. I love Tippy, but just know that. And I unfortunately, I'm being told I got to end. So, Denise, thank you so much, and thank you for letting me do this. And I'll just leave you with lots of love.
Love you too. Love
All
you
right,
too,
Denise.
Felix.
See I love that, Denise. I love it. So listen, we're done with the show. It goes by so fast. Elix, anything you want to say?
Please follow me at Coach Elix on Instagram, Facebook. Find me on LinkedIn and tune in on to my show Friday at 1. Get a grip with Coach Elix.
And same thing. His is streamed through YouTube on WARA, and it's streamed on his Facebook page, Coach Elix. So you can listen to him also and listen to callers. And I'm Stephen the Medium. You can go to my website to make an appointment. And I believe I'll be posting something for Sunday. I'll be back on Facebook Live. I haven't done a Facebook Live in a while. And thank you, Mark, the producer. As always, tune into his show 3 to 5 before us. And it's Mark's Jukebox. And today's show was really cool with breakups and makeups for Valentine's Day. So he's always got some great themes. So that's it. So everybody have a great night. And we'll see you next week on Through the Static.
Good night,
Lots
everyone.
of love.